What's up, everybody? On this video we're going to be looking at the city of Cape Coral. So before I did this video, I looked at the other videos on the internet about Cape Coral. Bro, these are some of the phoniest realtors I have ever seen. Literally painful to watch these guys. You can tell their broker was going to watch these videos, and if he didn't like it, these guys were going to lose their job or something. I'm not a realtor, I'm just going to give you the real deal on Cape Coral, and my broker doesn't have to see this slideshow when I'm done. I thought Naples had some phony people on the internet. This is on a whole different level. Relax, dude, you're not at a job interview. I guess you are, because you're trying to sell houses on YouTube. So I had a really professional demonstration for this video. I'm like, yo, I'm just going to be myself on this video, because I do not want to fade in with these clowns. One of these dudes is talking about school choice, where you can send your kids to any school you want. I'm like, yeah, that's how my wife, Katie, who went to school in Lee County, ended up in Dunbar, the most hood school you could want to be in. Like your parents were like, yeah, let's send this little white girl from Michigan to Dunbar, in the hood of Fort Myers. Literally, I've been in the hood doing my hood drive-arounds, and somebody be like, yo, what's up, Katie? Yo, that's that white girl who went to school with the house. Look, if you're moving in the middle of the year, or you're just moved over here and your crap's not in order, your school choice is going to be the school nobody wanted their kids to go to. You'll get to pick one of the two worst schools possible, because all the other good schools are already taken. That's how that works. And if you buy an empty lot in Cape Coral and an owl decides that it wants to live on your empty lot, now you can't build a house on it. That's what those little four things on those empty lots are about. Literally, there's protected eagles and tortoises crawling around every job site in Florida. The only difference is in Cape Coral, you're going to get some nosy neighbors who are going to call whatever agency's in charge. And there are a few hood spots in Cape Coral. It's not scary, it's just duplexes that are kind of run down and crap like that. Basically, don't buy a house near the North Fort Myers side, or if there's a duplex across the street. It's pretty idiot-proof because it's a city that's laid out and kind of stay away from major roads, and if there's a bar or restaurant nearby that's kind of loud, that's a problem. Just kind of fade away from the main roads, and that pretty much covers your bases. Cape Coral is probably one of the best places to relocate to Florida if you're coming from out of state. It's a place that really takes the guesswork out of trying to figure out what the crap you're trying to do. Most of the houses, businesses, and everything is brand new, so there's not too much variable or encumbrances that you have to worry about. Now some of these new home builders are a bunch of crooks, and you'll catch people crying on the internet about how their new house is falling apart and how their insurance company drops them when they find out about it. And then these people are bragging about how there's no HOAs in Cape Coral. Are you kidding me? The city of Cape Coral is one of the strictest places in the entire state of Florida, and their property taxes are in the $3,000 to $4,000 range for most houses. Yeah, who needs an HOA when you're living under the city of Cape Coral? And look, that's good and it's bad. It's good because it keeps everybody in their control, and it's bad because you can't do anything. And that's why I say that it's good for people who are relocating from out of state, especially New York and New Jersey, because you're already used to the rules and regulations. It's a very structured place. If you're looking to invest into empty lots, it's a little bit more expensive than other parts of Lee County, but the city of Cape Coral offers a program where they take care of the lot maintenance for a fee. And this has become a very attractive investment for people who don't want to worry too much. It's almost like the city is a property manager for your property, and you don't have to worry about somebody else in the middle. When I worked in Lee County, we used to pull permits all over the county, and we didn't pull permits in Cape Coral because there was just a pain in the butt to deal with these people. So if you have a problem with somebody telling you can't park your car in the grass, or you can't have a sign on your vehicle, or you can't have a boat on the driveway, or something like that, then this is not the place for you. And then there's no actual beaches in Cape Coral. You can go north to these beaches here in Charlotte County, you can go south to Lee County towards Fort Myers, or Naples and Collier County, but there's no actual beaches in Cape Coral. There's just some shopping centers and a lot of residential houses. They used to brag about having the largest canal system in the world. Now they kind of don't mention that because now they have the largest ecological man-made disaster on the world. The green algae's been really bad on the canals, and it's made a lot of people really sick. Green algae, red tide, two things these realtors won't mention on their videos. They want to pretend like they're giving you pros and cons, but really they're just giving you pros. They're not allowed to tell you the cons because they're freaking realtors. If they did, when they show it to their broker who has to approve the video, he would slap them upside the head with their own tablet. And then he would say something like, I'm going to fire you and replace you with that fat Cuban YouTuber who doesn't even have a GD yet. Mention the red tide one more time. It's going to be a red line at the bottom of your paycheck. Man, I'd say if I ever do become a realtor, I'm gonna have a hard time finding a broker. So don't fall for the palm trees. There's more to look at. Yes, it's a beautiful city. Palm trees and nightlife and lots of restaurants, incredible shopping selections for a city this size. Whatever, it's got everything. It's a great place, it really is. And please, don't pick your realtor off of YouTube. Like, you're better off randomly picking somebody out of the phone book and saying, hey, you're my realtor because your name starts with a J. Like, seriously, these people have no talent. Like, it's just pathetic to watch these videos. Like, I'm not telling you not to move to Cape Coral. I'm just telling you, don't get your realtor off a YouTube video. Buying a home is an elaborate process, and you're really better off renting for a while and waiting for an opportunity to come along. People that move down here and immediately buy a property, probably the biggest mistake you're ever going to make in your life. That's a decision you're stuck with once you do it. Like, I moved back to Florida and I looked at real estate, but I rented a place and my budget is like really limited. Like, I'm not in the $300,000 price range. And I'm just like, okay, let me just take my time and something will come along. I'm not going to rush this because I moved to a different state, Alabama, and I bought a house. And once you make that decision to buy a house, you're kind of stuck with it. If you're renting, you're just like, you know what? I'm not compromised. I don't have to put this back on the market. I can just tell a guy I'm leaving and that's it. Contract expires and you're out of there. Massive percentage of people who move down here are transient, so you don't have to lock yourself into a long-term commitment when you move down here. The job market here sucks. On the video they mentioned going to Fort Myers 35 or 40 minutes away, which is just basically crossing a river, so that lets you know how bad that traffic gets. I don't live in Cape Coral, but the distance to Fort Myers and Naples is exactly the same for me, where I live now, as it would be for you living in Cape Coral. And let me tell you, 70% of my jobs are not in Fort Myers, they're in Naples. It's not a 45-minute commute. It can be up to a 2-hour commute on the worst days during the wintertime. So just be realistic about what your commute is actually going to be. It's October, the tourists aren't even here yet, and I have taken an hour and a half to get to Naples in the morning. It's not even season time, and I already quit the job. I was like, look, this ain't going to work. I'm not going to sit here and drive for 2 hours every day in one direction. What angers me about these YouTube videos is how deceiving they are about the reality of living in Cape Coral. Did I mention there's a toll if you gotta cross that bridge at some points? It's a great city. It pretty much sells itself. Look at these videos. It's absolutely beautiful. It's pretty much a place that sells itself without a word. All you gotta do is give people the information they need so they can find if it works out for them or not, and they'll know if they can buy a house from you. It's not that complicated. Conmigo no. Mira, serio, el problema es que estos realtors lo que les falta es un poquitico de vida. Una camisita, una cadenita de oro, un convertible. Le falta vida, le falta swag. Estos tipos están muertos a serio. They literally need to hire like a pimp and like have the pimp like teach them some game or something so they can get a little bit of swag, a little bit of style. And they're not all like weird and like uncomfortable when they do these videos, bro. Like, tranquilízate, serio. Relax, bro. Tanto agitado, extraño. Relax, man. So I'm going to tell you what I like about Cape Coral. What I like about Cape Coral is that it's got a lot of diversity when it comes to food. The city has so much to offer. It's even got like specialty Cuban restaurants. It doesn't just have Cuban restaurants. It has like specific types of, like, they have a Cuban pizza place. Like, so many Cuban restaurants, Peruvian, Colombian. If you're from New York, they got different pizza places. Like, the diversity and different types of specialty restaurants. It has, like, food on par with, like, Miami or Tampa or New York type of thing. You know, I'm not going to say it's that good, but, like, the options are there. You can go out and do, like, 1,000 things. So if you like going out and trying new things, then it definitely has a lot to offer. I think the other YouTuber said beer connoisseurs. Like, who says that crap, bro? Relax, man. Take it easy, man. There's a lot of drunks in Cape Coral, bro. People just drink and drive, and then they drink and drive again. You know, it's a lot of bars, lots of places to drink, places open to 2 a.m. So it's a nice place if you like to drink and party and go to different places. You like being out there. It's nightlife. It's fun if you're into that type of crap. I mean, literally, the place has no shortage when it comes to eating and drinking. It's almost like a Hialeah for white people who are moving to Florida. I mean, if you're a Cuban, you just go to Hialeah. If you're a white person moving to Florida, you just go to Cape Coral. I don't have an analytical explanation for this, but I think this is more catered towards like single people or young couples. If you already have kids, then I don't know if I would put my kids there. Not that it's bad, it's not bad, but like I don't know. It seems like I don't have an explanation, dog. I just wouldn't do it. Y'all remember the music video Wanksta by 50 Cent where it was like a little suburban kid with the gold chain trying to pretend he was from the hood, but he wasn't from the hood? I'm just saying, if you move to Cape Coral, you know, them white kids might show up one day with like dreadlocks and a tear in their eye, talking about, yeah, I'm from little Pakistan. You're like, no, you're from Cape Coral. Not from Cape Coma. No, you're from Cape Coral. How did this happen to you, son? Like, there's no role models in Cape Coral. Your kids are growing up watching kids a little bit older than them, like, drinking and driving. Like, there's no, like, white guy driving off to work or something. That's not what they're seeing every day. And it's weird because you think you give your kids the best environment possible. Like, you move into this suburban place and stores and Target, and you think your kids are going to grow up normal. Like, you're all proud you got them on the north side of the Caloosahatchee River, you know what I'm saying? And they're over here watching, like, music videos of guys in, like Kodak Black beating his girlfriend or something. You know what I mean? No, let me take that back. I don't think Kodak would do that. I just know he wouldn't. I don't know why. Like, he might break into your house, but I don't think he'd hit a girl. So them kids grow up confused, son. Like, you don't get to live in Cape Coral until you graduate and, like, make some of your own money. You can't just, like, as a little kid, get to live in Cape Coral. That's gonna be one spoiled little brat. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about the cons. Cape Coral does have low crime rate, and it is really safe to be there in the daytime. But at night, it's a whole different world. I'm not saying it's dangerous, but it's definitely like a Disneyland for Florida man. When I moved back to Florida, I spent like 2 or 3 weeks in Cape Coral staying at a hotel, and there was a gas station right across the street. Occasionally at night, I would walk down there to get a water or a Gatorade or something. Sometimes I would jump into Yukon, put on some Kodak Black, and it just, like, even though I could have walked, I'd drive. And this was a complete zoo at night. There are people, like, arguing about politics and religion, like, outside this gas station. Like, nah, man, New York, you know, New York! And this other homeless guy like, man, I'm from Florida, I'm from the I'm from the Norfolk, man. You see me in the camp, I'm from the... Like, all these, like, wild, crazy, ghetto, transient people from, like, all parts of the world, like Colombians and Jamaicans and a white guy from New York. And they're all outside of this gas station, like, 2 in the morning, like, arguing about politics. Like, I'm sure the white guy was, like, really well off, and then you have, like, a homeless guy. So you got, like, homeless people, poor people, rich people, white people, black people, and they're all outside a gas station at 2 in the morning arguing. It's so harmonious and beautiful. And I had still just moved back fresh from Alabama, so I was like, y'all gonna get shot. When I tell you it's a zoo in Cape Coral at night, I mean, like, it is like the Florida Man Olympics. They're not dangerous, they're not bad, they're just Florida man at a gas station at night. I don't even know how to explain it. It's not like you feel threatened by them. It's just a very interesting collection of individuals who probably don't have to go to work the next day. So when they tell you it has low crime rate, it really does, but don't think it's like some paradise wonderland. Like, it's still freaking Florida. If you're thinking about Cape Coral, I think you've made a good selection. I like it more than Fort Pierce, Port St. Lucie, and a lot of these other mediocre towns in Florida, like Spring Hill, for example. I think a while back I did my top 10 best places in Florida, and Cape Coral might have been number 1. That video was aimed at helping people that were moving to Florida. Realistically, property taxes are pretty high. I know people who liked Cape Coral found a house they really liked, and when they saw the property taxes, they ended up buying in unincorporated Lee County. I do feel that Cape Coral is overvalued right now, much more than any other area in Southwest Florida, because it kind of caters to the more transient crowd. I got friends from New York and New Jersey that have moved to Cape Coral, and they absolutely love it. I think their biggest complaint was finding social activities and other people to interact with. People that were, like, sober and whatnot, you know, like, you can interact with people, but it's not the type of you get what I'm saying. Well, there it is, Cape Coral. I recommend it, 9 out of 10.